सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एको ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भयो निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एको ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भयो निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भयो निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भयो निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भयो निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच एक ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भयो निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैभं गुर प्रसाद जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच वाहिगुरु जी का खालसा वाहिगुरु जी की फतेह. Thank you to everyone that's come today. So पिछले हफ्ते Sakhi time, Ben brought Sakhi, which I kept thinking about like all week. You know the Sakhi that you brought, it was so like full of prema, and it was like, yeah, it was amazing. So I just kept on thinking about that like the whole week. It was amazing Sakhi. So this week Uday Singh and Rai Singh volunteered to bring the Sakhi in. But did you bring it? You've got Sakhi? Yeah? Oh, okay. Is it? So did you research on it? Yeah? So Rai Singh brought Sakhi for us today. And is it about, what's it about? It's about Bhai Rai Singh. So his name is Rai Singh. His brother's name is Uday Singh. And the Sakhi that Uday Singh brought was about Bhai Uday Singh and the Battle of Chamkar, which was amazing. And then his name's Rai Singh, which is amazing, beautiful names, है ना? What is that की है ना? Veer Singh. They got amazing names, है ना? So Uday Singh, Rai Singh, and Veer Singh. I think these Puratan names are starting to come back a little bit that have a meaning to them, है ना? Like you got like Zorawar Singh, Himmat Singh, Himmat Singh, Taru Singh. These Puratan names, when you tell them about who they were, then it gives you that sense of belonging, है ना? And it gives you, I think it's important for children. But so we'll pass it over to Rai Singh, who hopefully will be able to speak as loud as he can, so everyone can hear it. But you have to tell everyone who Rai Singh was now, okay? So speak loud as you can, and help him out if he needs any help. Okay, this thing. Yeah. So I'm gonna hand it over to Rai Singh. We're not gonna record. Ben is gonna put it on YouTube. You might not be able to hear it. As clear, but
Shall I put it near him, but record still this way and then hear it?
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah. We're pointing towards me, but just so everyone can hear it on YouTube as well.
It's not recording you. Don't worry.
Yeah. So it's not recording you by the way. Yeah. Done, right? Over to you.
After the brave lion warriors by Sukha Singh and Mehtab Singh had decapitated Masarangar for his disrespectful act, they rode off on their horses with his head on the tip of their spears. The Mughals were shaken to the core as they were never thought that the Khalsa would do such a daring thing. The family members of Masaranga were traumatized and overcome by grief. They traveled to Lahore and wailed at Zakaria Khan's feet and cried about how the cold-blooded killers had chopped off their leader Masaranga's head off, and they demanded that the criminal should be arrested and tied up behind horses dragged to Lahore. They explained that no one knows where these vultures reside. Upon hearing this, the already sworn enemy of the Khalsa, Zakaria Khan, was in severe discomfort. The enraged Zakaria called for his governors, all of them known killers. He screamed at them and ordered them to hunt down these Nihangs. Zakaria then offered mass wealth to whoever could provide information about the Singhs. One governor spoke out. Mehtab Singh Pangu is the name, and he is from Pind Mirapur. Mir Akbar Ali was the owner of this land, and he was called to the court. Zakaria Khan ordered him to go with his army and bring back Mehtab Singh. The big army of Mughals marched to the Pind and ordered the Sarpanch to come out. The leader of this army, Nuruddin, speaks out and says to his village leader, "If you do not bring out Mehtab Singh, I shall take your life right now." He responds, "Mehtab Singh is not here in this village right now." The sly Bhagat Naranjani whispers in the village leader's ear and says, "But I know Mehtab Singh's young son is here, so bring him out." "Bring him to me now," says Nuruddin. "The son of a murderer should also be murdered." Natta Khaira, the village leader, then replies, "Okay then, I will bring him here immediately." He then walks off into his village. In the village, in his own home, he sees Rai Singh, son of Mehtab Singh. He sees Rai Singh playing with his own two children and shakes his head. Natta Khaira states, "I shall sacrifice my life for this child, and when I do, if any of my own children survive, people shall proclaim, 'There go the children of Natta Khaira. They are the children of a warrior. They are the children of a man of honor.'" Natta takes the infant and jumps over the back wall of his house. With him is his son, nephew, and servant. The Jata of Five sprint across the fields trying to escape. Nuruddin then receives news that Natta is fleeing with Mehtab Singh's son, and they run in pursuit. Natta looks back and hands over Rai Singh to his son and tells him to run with the others, but to never abandon the infant, and that he would fight off the Mughals by himself. But by this time they were already surrounded. Nuruddin told the family of Masarangar to get revenge, as there were only 5 farmers and that there were many Rangars, but the 5 were armed. Natta Khaira with a bow and talwar, the son with a spear, the nephew with a lance, and the servant with a big wooden club. Natta then shot at them, multiple arrows being shot at once, and if anyone got near, they would be killed by the heavy blows of the spear, lance, and club. After a while, the Rangars retreated and complained to Nuruddin that many of them had been killed. So the Mughal army closed in and charged at them from every angle, hoping no more soldiers would die. Natta's bow then suddenly unstrings, so he pulls out his sword from the mian. He then chops up any attacking Mughals, and then the Mughals retreat. The Mughals then start firing from a distance. The young Rai Singh was distressed by the gunfire. At times he would grab onto Natta's legs. Most of the times he would fall onto the dirt and mud, not being able to keep up with Natta's footwork. After a while of shooting, the Mughals finally charged in on horseback, and Natta closed his eyes knowing this was his last stand. They were then trampled over by horses, and Natta Khaira, his son, nephew, and servant all gave their lives to protect young Rai Singh. Rai Singh was also then trampled by heavy cavalry, and then he was cut near the throat with a heavy blade by an evil horseman. He was then cut again deep into the neck, into his collarbone, where his throat area remained unaffected. But then a third strike was delivered to the head of the young boy, a final third strike. This strike that cut into the head of the child was softened as the tip of the sword hit the ground, softening the blow. The child was covered in blood, dirt, and mud. The Mughals looked at the body of Natta Khaira, his son and nephew and servant, and they said that they were dead. They saw the body of Rai Singh laying motionless on the ground with multiple wounds and cuts on his small body, with broken limbs and bones, and also assumed that he was dead. The evil Mughals then rode off on their horses in celebration and laughter, leaving behind the bodies of the fallen heroes who gave their lives to protect this child from their respective village. After some time, an old lady from another village comes by who had been selling spinach to neighboring villages. Hearing the gunshots, she becomes aware that there had been a battle here. She then slowly approaches the battlefield after the Mughals had left. She She then spots many bodies of the Mughals that had been slain. She then spots a small infant and then realizes that he's still breathing. She then rushes to him, puts him in a basket and goes home to see to his wounds. Bhai Ratan Singh Pangu writes, "This is how my father was saved. A man who cleaned shoes was called upon, and in secrecy he helped nurse my father and sewed up his wounds, the one on his neck, the one on his head, and then the ones on his body, collarbone and shoulder. My father was nursed by a bibbi and shoe cleaner. He was then taken to a pind where his uncle lived, and in this way he was saved and lived to fight on." Bhai Ratan Singh Pangu then writes, "This is the story of how my father's life was saved with the grace of the true Guru."
Wow. Really, really good one. Smashed it. Smashed it, absolutely smashed it. Why you do Bella, man? You always would avoid me whenever I would see him anywhere because I would ask him, but absolutely smashed it. Really good one. So hopefully you learnt about who Rai Singh was. That's amazing. At the age of, I believe it was 2 years old, and this is our itihas, this is our history. That 2-year-old Rai Singh, Mehtab Singh's son, so Sukha Singh Mehtab Singh's famous for chopping Masarangar's head off, for doing Dadvi at Darbar Sahib. But Mehtab Singh's son, 2 years old, in Papi, they were so bad, so horrible, that they didn't bash a 2-year-old kid. They trampled over a 2-year-old kid with a horse and then cut him, threw it on the throat, but he still survived. And it was at the age of 12 where he fought in a big battle against the Mughals. Mughਲਾਂ ਦੇ ਖਿਲਾਫ 12 ਸਾਲ ਦੇ ਸੀ, because by Mehtab Singh ji, baad chon ki hoya fir, by Mehtab Singh ji ne fir, you know, at that time, that was that time when Zakaria Khan, Lakhpat Rai, Jaspat Rai, when they were hunting Sikhs in the jungles, killing them, putting prices on their heads. Bhai Taru Singh da itihas ithe honda fir. Bhai Taru Singh ji's itihas, when they gave their qurbani, they gave their sacrifice to make sure no other Sikh gets killed, because after Bhai Taru Singh ji gave their shahidi, Zakaria Khan got that a health problem where he couldn't go to the bathroom, and then he eventually died from that, right? But check this out, yeah, this is our itihas, how it's linked, and not many people know. I only found this out like recent couple of years ago, that Bhai Mehtab Singh ji and Bhai Taru Singh ji were childhood friends. Both pyar se ek doojiyan de naal, they grew up together, and they made a promise to each other. They go, je assi shahidi dena, kathiyan ne shahidi deni assi for the Sikh qaum, we'll give shahidi together. And then when Bhai Taru Singh ji got arrested, Bhai Taru Singh nu le gaye utthe Lahore, and then Bhai Mehtab Singh ji found out. Bhai Mehtab Singh nu pata lag gaya ki my jigri dost, my best friend has been taken, and we made this promise together that we become shaheed together. So what Bhai Mehtab Singh was said to Bhai Sukha Singh, his friend, to look after his son Rai Singh. Rai Singh ne tusi look after karni hai. So Rai Singh fought with Bhai Sukha Singh in battles and everything as well. Everything they got taught by Sukha Singh and taught by Rai Singh. And then by Mehtab Singh, what they did was they said Fateh to the whole Jatha, Sare Singha nu Fateh, they said their final bid farewell, they said Fateh to everyone. And they took their shastras off, shastra sare la ke ek paase rakhte. They went to a checkpoint where jithe Mughals had their checkpoint, the Mughal officers were. He went up to them and slapped one of them really hard. Pata si shastra ta hai nahi, so he'll get arrested. And he did it near Lahore. So what happened? Got arrested, and they took him to Lahore, and then got there where Bhai Taru Singh ji were as well. So can you imagine this? Bhai Taru Singh ji in the jail after getting tortured or whatnot, and they see their best friend coming into jail, and they couldn't stop laughing. They hugged each other, and they said, "Tu ithe bhi aa gaya." And goes, "Jehdi promise we ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਦੂਜੇ ਨਾਲ, ਉਹ promise ਨਿਭਾਉਣੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੁਣ. That promise that we made, we're going to carry it out. We're going to become shaheed together." So ਇਕੱਠਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਦਿੱਤੀ ਸੀ ਦੋਨਾਂ ਨੇ. They gave that shahidi together then. By Taru Singh the case, they khopri lati sigi, and then by Mehtab Singh ne hor tarah shahid kita siga. But that's our history, man. That's our history. Beautiful Sakhi. Well done, Pat. Really, really good for that. Thank you so much for that. Sakhi, time for next week. Who would like to volunteer for next week? Anyone? You are doing it? Okay then. I think we're doing Sakhi for next week. Thank you so much, Pat. We'll continue on Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jeevan now. It's, you know, it's amazing, man. These children, they're so blessed that they're coming out with Sakya like this, and that'll stay with him forever now until he, you know, and he'll tell his kids about it as well. And Jay Bachchan, who we learnt about who Bhai Rai Singh was as well, you know. Because we always hear the famous stories, Sakya and stuff like that, but you don't hear of Bhai Rai Singh, and Bhai Uday Singh ni Shahidi ki dat diti si, Bhai Rai Singh ni Shahidi ki dat diti si. So we'll continue next week. Hartek Singh will bring the Sakhi for us next week. Thank you so much for that. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Jeevan. Let's go over that now. And then if anyone's got any questions, then we can do a Q&A session after. So quick recap from last week. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj Bhai Mardana Ji beinti karde aa. They make a request to Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, their Guru, saying that Maharaj, show me the 9 khand jehde hunde aa, 9 realms, 9 places that are famous in the Shastras and the Veds, jehde mashhoor ne, the famous places. Maharaj, show me them, I want to see them. Maharaj kende na nahi kar hundi te tenu, we can't say no to you, chal theek hai tenu dikhaunde ha, fir assi will show you. So Maharaj takes him to the first khand by Mardana Ji, by Balaji, and then there, this place, there's a fort there, this whole place, there's a mountain there as well, but this whole place is full of lions, like there's sher, sare paase sher, and there's loads of lions everywhere. And Maharaj utthe ja ke beh jande aa, like in the middle. Maharaj aren't scared of anything, right? Utthe ja ke beh jande aa, and then the lions come up to Maharaj, do matha take, they bow to Maharaj, and they have a conversation. Maharaj gives them the power to talk, and then they fold both hands or paws or whatever you want to call it. They said that Maharaj go, how have you come here? How come you're in this June? And they go, Maharaj, we've been given this June, this life of ours is to eat meat because we have done paap in our previous janams. We have now come into your sharan, into your sanctuary, Maharaj. As he told it, we'll come into your protection now, and all the paaps that we have done will get erased from doing your darshan. This is a little reminder for us. Doing darshan of your Guru, try on a daily basis, is important for a good Sikh. Because when you do darshan of Maharaj, Maharaj erases so many paaps, your previous paaps, your sins that you've done, and then it gets easier to do bhakti. It gets easier to start walking on the path. Because when you have to walk around with all that many sins and stuff like that, it becomes hard to do it. But then when you come to Matha Take to Maharaj and do darshan of Maharaj, then paaps Maharaj starts raising them. When you do Simran, the Maharaj starts raising them paaps as well. And a really beautiful example was given in Katha that I heard. So the example that was given was this, that there's a lantern, है ना? Like पुराने ज़माने में पता है कि जरा उठे दीवा बाल के, and then they put it in that little glass thing, है ना? And then चानन दिंदा हुंदा, so it gives light when at night time, especially in India. In many countries this was used. They'd give light, but over time that light would keep burning, and then it would put black like soot would get all around the glass. वो साफ करना पैंदा हुंदा सी, फिर ही ओहदा चानन नहीं तो आगे जिन्नी मर्जी ओहदे विच light चलो. But if that wasn't cleaned, the light isn't going to shine out. Yeah, and this example was given for us. Ki we're the lantern, and the light is within you, that jyot is within you, but the reason why it's not shining out is because we're full of paap, we're full of vishya karma, we're full of desires, and that's all that black soot that's in us, that's blocking that light from coming out. And all kidda saaf kari da by doing simran. Yeah, it's such an easy thing to do, it's not even hard, right? To just sit there for just a couple of minutes, just doing Vaheguru Simran, Vaheguru, Vaheguru, Vaheguru. And even if you don't connect, or it's so easy to do, just Maharaj remind us about that. But ete darshan, they say, hun darshan kar le thode. And then Guru Sahib Ji said, how do you survive it? The lion then said, Maharaj, listen to our story. We haven't eaten for ages. In this jungle, for 100 miles, we haven't eaten we've eaten all the animals. Sare janwar kha liya si. There aren't any left. And when one of ours goes to sleep, then when they get lazy, then we all eat that one. Here, then I said that we can use that example of Banj Jor, how they attack you if you get lazy. Then they say we stay awake so we don't get eaten. And that's where I left it last week. So let's do Ustat of Guru Sahib Ji, and we'll continue on the journey and see where Maharaj is going to take us today. Let's praise Maharaj through Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj Bani. where Maharaj was saying, Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj, is always nice to remind, even like I say, we say it every week, but just going through the reminder, even for myself, it makes a big difference, Hana? You connect better then. But Guru Arjan Dev Ji Maharaj is saying that ki, I don't know nothing, मेरे को कोई ज्ञान नहीं हैगा, I've got no knowledge, ज्ञान ध्यान किछ कर्म ना जाना, but सार ना जाना तेरी. I don't even know how beyond you are, how limitless you are. There's no limit to you, Maharaj. You're so vast, you're so big, Maharaj. सार ना जाना तेरी. But इन्ना मैनू पता है कि सब तो बड़ा कि the greatest of them all is Dhan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, जिन कल राखी मेरी, who will protect me in this age of Kaljug. Kaljug बहुत भयानक है, is only getting worse. It's not going to get any better if someone thinks that कि आज दी दुनिया में चीज़ें रह रहे हैं ऐसी. When you put on the news, do you ever hear any positive news? चंगी खबर तक कभी नहीं आती. It's always negative. माड़ी खबर आती है हमेशा. On Facebook ते जा on social media एकदम ही सानू पता लग जाता है कुछ हो गया किते whatever है ना. But it's the age of Kaljug that we're living in, where Maharaj has warned us. सानू warning दिती हुई है कि it's only going to get worse. ज़्यादा पर सानू Maharaj देता है कि Maharaj दा लड़ खाट लो. Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj will protect us in this age of Kaljug. So why wouldn't you grab onto Maharaj's chair? So let's do Ustat of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj, and we'll continue on the journey. ज्ञान ध्यान किछ कर्म न जाना, सार न जाना तेरी, सब तुए बड़ा सतगुरु नानक, जिन कल राखी मेरी. सब दे बड़ा सतगुरु नानक, जिन कल राखी मेरी. So the lion saying that we stay awake so we don't get eaten, and we're scared of each other. सानू एक दूजा तो डर लगता है. But we are, and we're constantly scared of each other. Maharaj, now we have come into your Sharn, we've come into your sanctuary. Maharaj, we want to take you on as our Guru, so Aap can do our Kalyan. So you can save us from this June, from this cycle, this life that we're in. You can take us out of this life and save us. Guru Sahib Ji fir kende, if that's the case, Maharaj seen that Sharda. They said, Maharaj, if that's the case, then we will give you a Manukhi Jivan. We'll give you a human form, but promise me that you will live within Sikhi, within Gurmat. Guru Sahib Ji have blessed us with Sikhi as well. And you can ask yourself if you live by it. If you don't, then what's that reason why we don't live by it? Maharaj ਇੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਮਨੁੱਖੀ ਜੀਵਨ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ ਦਾਂਗੇ, ਪਰ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਹੋਗੇ, if you live within Gurmat, live within Sikhi. And when I was listening to that, I was thinking that Maharaj has blessed all of us with Sikhi. Jinne vi see on there, if you come Gurdwara every week, every day, or every other day, whenever you come, and you call yourself a Sikh, that Maharaj has blessed you with Sikhi. If you do a little bit of Path, a little bit Simran, that's Sikhi. Maharaj has blessed you with that. Then ask yourself if you live by what a Sikh is supposed to do, what a Sikh is supposed to be. And if you don't live by them, Gurmat the way, then what's that reason? Why are you not living it that way? But Maharaj but live within Sikhi and do Kamai. Then you will get Mukti. Maharaj will take you out of the cycle of life and death. You won't have to live in this June then. When you do Shabd Abhyas, so Shabd Abhyas, Simran Abhyas Karnaya, when you do that, your home will get eradicated. Your ego will go away. Jira Hankara, Maharaj oho made them give it. They promised Guru Sahib Ji, then Maharaj took them out of that life, said Bachan ki Maharaj ne Bachan kita ki thonu agla janam jeda hai, o manukha janam miluga. The next life that you get, it will be a human life. And then Maharaj gave that human form. Then they came, then what happened later on is, Maharaj, they came into the Sangat of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, they came into the Sangat of Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj. After this, they left this place and they went towards this mountain, where on top of the mountain there was this village. Maharaj got there and they sat outside this village, this city, this nagar. People came to do Guru Sahib Ji's darshan. Ote darshan karna hai Maharaj. They asked Guru Sahib Ji ki how have you come here to see a how come you were able to come here, and then how come no lion has eaten you? That means you must be someone special. Mahapurukh honge. How come no lion ate you? There's no other animal here. The lions have eaten them all. That's why this place is so high up. ताई उसे इन उच्चे थां ते सी है अपना नगर बसाया या so इत्थे शेर नहीं आया आ सकदा. We have cannons in place here as well, and if lions come then we shoot them with the cannons. Guru Sahib Ji then said, we went to them, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲੇ ਆ, and we blessed them with manukha janam. So slowly they will start dying and they'll come into Sikhi in their next birth. Hearing this, the people did matha take to Guru Sahib Ji. They said, if that's the case, if you're the lions in affect you, that means you're special, and you're going to give them that manukha janam, saying you have been hearing this, the people did matha take to Guru Sahib Ji ne matha take kya unhone, saying that you've blessed us from this dukh. Jira dukh asi, they were living in this constant dukh because they couldn't go out because they were scared of lions, or they would go, we were in constant fear, living in fear because sanu edda siya ki sher sanu kha jange. Now they have taken your Upadesh and they will surely be saved. They all then did matha take to Maharaj, ki Maharaj nu matha take ke, then they made arrangements to take Charan Amrit. They made arrangements to take Amrit, and they all became sick of Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. So Guru Sahib Ji stay here for a bit and then move on, and they go to the next place, and then which is called Hirnakhand. This place, where they go to the next Khand, this next place they go to, everything here is made of gold. Sona hi sona, sare passe de sona. And the people that live in this place, they focus on yoga. And for this reason, everyone here always remains young and youthful. Yoga abhyasa, or saanu fi control kar lende, they control their breathing. And if they control their breathing, then they can last for a long time. They live for a long time. So they're focusing on controlling their breathing. And then what happened is, when the end for them used to be near, ਜਦੋਂ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੁਣ ਅੰਤਲਾ ਸਮਾਂ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਆ, that I'm going to die soon, what they used to do then was they used to go and sit in the mountains and start focusing on their breathing so they can just last more longer. And also, it's all about how many breaths you have in this world. Guru Sahib Ji ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਮੌਤ ਦੇ death is your life is measured by how many breaths you take, not how much time you have in this world. ਕਿ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸਵਾਸ ਮਾਰਨ ਨੇ ਲਿਖਿਆ, ਉਹ ਸਵਾਸ ਜਦੋਂ ਪੂਰੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, then you leave this world, right? So ਜੇ ਯੋਗ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, they're able to control their breathing, they're able to stop their breathing. That means they're able to last longer in that sense, है ना? So, but they used to focus on yoga, taking their breathing into their dasam dwar and holding it there. So these are all tactics or skills or whatever you want to call it, abhyas that they did, and they would last for a long time. Guru Sahib Ji arrive at this place, and loads of people come to see Guru Sahib Ji. Now these people are learned people, they're wise, they've got gyan, they've got knowledge, and ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ Guru Sahib Ji ਕੌਣ ਨੇ. So loads of people come to see Guru Sahib Ji, and they ask them, ki, what's your upadesh? What are your teachings? Tell us that. And who's your guru? Our guru is Gorakhnath. Gorakhnath is the guru of yoga abhyas. So loads of people follow Gorakhnath, and he said that we follow his teachings, his upadesh. That's why we focus on yoga. But our minds aren't at peace. Shanti nahi hai sade kol. Our mind, we do all of this yoga abhyas and stuff like that. It sounds cool that you can able to hold your breath and last longer, but man vich shanti nahi hai, they haven't got that peace. Guru Sahib Ji have blessed us so much, such a simple way of living. Look at what these lot had to do. ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ to try and get salvation or try and get to Vaheguru, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਸੀ. ਇਹ ਤਾਂ ਯੋਗ ਅਭਿਆਸ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਹੱਠ ਯੋਗ ਵੀ ਆ, where they used to stand on one leg for days, where they used to hang upside down in the wells, where they used to hang off trees, ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਨਾ, ਇੱਕ ਬਾਂਹ ਉੱਪਰ ਨੂੰ ਫੜ ਕੇ ਰੱਖਣੀ, and do all sorts of this sort of stuff to get salvation, to get ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. ਇਹ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਕੁਛ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਸਿੰਪਲ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਖਸ਼ਿਆ ਆ. Such a simple path. ਮਹਾਰਾਜ said, wake up ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਵੇਲਾ ਪੁੱਤ, do ਸਿਮਰਨ, ਇਸ਼ਨਾਨ ਕਰਕੇ ਬਾਣੀ ਪੜ੍ਹ ਲਓ, do ਸੇਵਾ, and just share what you've got with others. How hard is that? Such a beautiful, simple path, and you can get mukti. Maharaj thanu mukti adda, Maharaj is going to bless you with mukti. How easy is that? Maharaj has blessed us with that way of living. They continue, and they ask Guru Sahib Ji, is there an upadesh that you can give us where we can get peace? Sanu tusi upadesh do, jehdi sanu shanti mil sake. Guru Sahib Ji fir kende. So again, I'll give you that reminder कि Maharaj सानू कह रहे ने, Maharaj is telling them, but through them Maharaj सानू hun सारे नु उपदेश दे रहे ने कि साडे मन विच कई we might have that question in our mind, right? Ki, today's day and age, life is so busy, dauri this rat race, so much stress in the world, so much bad stuff happening in the world. Ki kuch nahi ho raha. But so Maharaj sanu das rahe ki if you want shanti, eda karo fir, you should do this. Maharaj go do Simran of that true Vaheguru, that Satnam jote tusi Simran karo. Get rid of home, that ego that everyone's got. Whether you say you haven't got it or not, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਕੋਲ ਹੰਕਾਰ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਵਿੱਚ, ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੰਕਾਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਆ. There's ego in everyone. But to get rid of it, Maharaj said Simran karo. And then it's that one rog, that rog that we always talk about, the Panch Chor, right? The Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Hankar. Hankar is the one that if you've got Hankar, even a tiny bit of Hankar, it'll amplify all the other chor. Jede baki vices are, jede baki chor ne, it'll amplify it. Onu 10 guna hor bad juga. Jede Kama, Krodha, Lobh, je Hankar hai. So get rid of your Hankar and it gets easier to control the rest of it as well. Maharaj kehinde home, get rid of home da tyag karna, recognize that this sansar, this world is false. Look at this teaching Maharaj is giving. कि जिहड़ा संसार है झूठा है, जो आत्मा स्वरूप is true. जिहड़ा थोड़ी आत्मा है, the soul that's within you, वो सच्चा. This body of yours outside is fake. ये तो नाश हो जाना एक दिन. But we get so attached to this body or to other people's bodies, like our family, friends. We see what's on the outside, we give them labels. Nah, these are your names, and we get attached to that. But जिहड़ा अंदर है, we don't care about that. Maharaj kehinde that your Atma Swarup, your Atma is true, but your body is fake. Do abhyas. When you do this, you will get peace. Fir shanti milugi je abhyas karunge, and you will become one with Vaheguru. These people listened and they started to follow Guru Sahib Ji's bachan. Fir ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ shanti mili, they attained peace. Guru Sahib Ji stayed here for a while as well, and after a bit, they leave this place also. They go to the next khand called Pur Khand. They go and sit at this place to rest. ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. ਦੂਜਾ ਹੁਣ ਅਗਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਖੰਡ ਆ, this next place they go to, ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਰਾਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ. They sit. Guru Sahib Ji doing paropkar on everyone, saving everyone. ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੋਚ ਰਿਹਾ ਸੀਗਾ listening to this ਕਿ up until now, just like listening to this day, ਅੱਜ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ up until now we always thought Guru Sahib Ji ਦੀ ਸਾਖੀਆਂ ਸੀ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ ਆ, that in this world कि स्थान भी बने हुए हैं. There's a स्थान where Guru Sahib Ji have been to. Maharaj ने उत्थे कौडा राक्ष ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਇਆ, ਸੱਜਣ ਠੱਗ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਇਆ, ਭੂਮੀਆ ਚੋਰ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਇਆ. Maharaj saved this person, saved this king. Maharaj ਉਹ ਤਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ. But Maharaj has gone to different places, different realms and saved loads of people, saved loads of different kings, saved loads of different people. Guru Sahib Ji are doing parikram and saving everyone. The king that ruled in this place was called Taramchand. He used to do seva of all his subjects though. ਜਿਹਨੇ ਵੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਰਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਰਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ, ਇਹ ਰਾਜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਧਰਮਚੰਦ ਸੀ, ਉਹਦੇ ਰਾਜ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ, ਇਹ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ. So he was a true king, ਵਧੀਆ ਰਾਜਾ ਸੀਗਾ. He was a good king. He came to meet Guru Sahib Ji. Guru Sahib ਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ, ਨਮਸਕਾਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੂੰ, and he had a lot of prem for Maharaj and said कि Maharaj, bless me with your seva as well please Maharaj. Seva baksho. Whatever you ask for, I will do, Maharaj. ਹੁਣ ਭਾਈ ਬਾਲਾ ਜੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਭਾਈ ਬਾਲਾ ਜੀ Maharaj's friend, they're saying to Guru Angad Dev Ji Maharaj, because they're narrating all this, they said, Maharaj, listen to what's going to happen next. It's onali Allah. This is something worth listening to. Maharaj, ਭਾਈ ਬਾਲਾ ਜੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ, ਉਹ ਰਾਜਾ ਨੇ ਪੁੱਛ ਲਿਆ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ, Maharaj ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸੇਵਾ ਬਖਸ਼ੋ, give me some sort of seva to do. Guru Sahib Ji ਫਿਰ then used their powers, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੌਤਕ ਵਰਤਾਇਆ, and they turned me into a tiger. ਭਾਈ ਬਾਲਾ ਜੀ ਨੂੰ ਸ਼ੇਰ ਬਣਾਤਾ. Maharaj turned Bhai Balaji into a tiger and then said to the Raja, if you want to do my seva, first feed this tiger that's with us. Jera sher sade nala, feed the tiger, and then his food is maas, is meat. Oh ta maas khanda ya, and he doesn't eat anything else. Oh hor kuch nahi khanda. And the only maas he eats as well, this is look what Maharaj is saying. He goes, the only maas that he eats the maas of sons of kings. So je Raja ne puttara, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਮਾਸ ਖਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਸਿਰਫ. So satisfy him first, ਇਹਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤ੍ਰਿਪਤ ਕਰੋ, ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੇਰੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਪ੍ਰਵਾਨ ਹੋਵੇਗੀ. Then we'll accept your seva if you satisfy him first. Now this was a test Guru Sahib Ji were doing, ਕਿ ਐਵੇਂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਸੱਚੀ, does he really want to serve me or is he just saying ਉੱਪਰਲੇ ਮਨੋਂ. ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਏਦਾਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ੍ਹ ਦੀ ਦੁਨੀਆ 'ਚ ਹੈਗਾ, right? We get fake people. ਪਖੰਡੀ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉੱਪਰੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ but Maharaj is going to do a test now Maharaj doing a test Maharaj then hearing this ਸੁਣ ਕੇ the king ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਾਜਾ ਸੀ ਡੋਲਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ he didn't waver he said I have my son Maharaj ਆਗਿਆ ਦਿਓ give me permission and I will bring my son the king's servant got the son quickly and the king Taramchand said that if this body can be sacrificed for a Mahapurkh, for a Guru, then there's nothing better. ਹੋਰ ਕੋਈ ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਨਹੀਂ ਜੇ ਇਹ ਸਰੀਰ ਲੇਖੇ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਵੇ ਮਹਾਪੁਰਖਾਂ ਲਈ look at that soch that he's got right something to take away that if you ever get a chance to do seva of a Mahapurkh use your body use your however you can do seva of the Mahapurkh you should try and do it the king stood his son in front of the tiger Guru Sahib ji testing him and said, you are truly Tan, you're great, Raja tu Tanna, that you've done this. You are like, you're worthy of taking Upadesh from me. Do Simran, meditate on Vaheguru, and then in the end you will get Mukti easily. Tinu Mukti bahut asani nal mil jugi. Again, this is a reminder of how hard it used to be to get salvation, how hard it used to be to get Mukti, to come out of the cycle of life and death. Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਤੂੰ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰ ਲੈ and ਮੁਕਤੀ ਤੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲ ਜੂਗੀ you come out of the cycle of life and death Guru Sahib ji stayed here for many days and then gave the Raja Upadesh to do Kirtan and Simran ਤੂੰ ਸਿਮਰਨ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰ ਸੰਗਤ ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰ Guru Sahib ji then moved on to the next place Guru Sahib you're saving everyone how amazing is this that Maharaj ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਬਚਾ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ The next khand they go to is called Harbark Khand. Now, if I said that correctly, the recording was a little bit idrudar. Siga, so pata nahi main if I said that right. But Maharaj goes to this khand. Guru Sahib ji get close to the city here, and they sat down to rest. Ithe aake Maharaj aram kar dene fir. The Raja here also comes to Guru Sahib ji. The Raja ithe aa thaan te siga, oh bhi Maharaj kol aunde ne. He folds both hands and did matha take to Maharaj. He kept his head in Guru Sahib ji's charn and not moving it. Oh sir aapda chakya nahi ohne Maharaj de charna cho. He's proper going into nimrata and puri tarah nimrata vich aa reha ya he's becoming really humble. This king is oh aapda matha chak nahi reha he's not picking his head up. Now this is the act of bowing right placing your head in Guru Sahib ji's charn and that's what it does it gets rid of your homme. Just tai and it's important that you fully bow that you're proper submissive to Guru Sahib ji ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਦਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰਨ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ it shouldn't be a ritual it can turn into a bit of a ritual for us that especially that Guru Sikhs that might come every day they might not realize it but it becomes muscle memory you just go on autopilot sometimes it's something to take away teaching as well for Guru Sikhs that go get darshan of Guru Sahib ji every day but when we go and see Maharaj every day we should try our best, absolute best, whenever you come to see Guru Sahib Ji, to walk into Maharaj Darbar with that mentality, I'm going to place my head, I'm going to give my thoughts, my head to Guru Sahib Ji, and then Fir Kirpa Hundi hai Maharaj will. Not just going for like the sake of going, ki paise paate go matha ser punje lata and then go and have prasad and sit down. ਜਦੋਂ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਨਾ mentality your soch should be in such a way ki I'm about to bow to the King of Kings I'm about to bow to Vaheguru themselves ਇਹ ਤੋਂ ਹੋਰ ਚੰਗਾ ਕੀ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਕਰਮ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਆ ਕਿ Maharaj you brought me to this place in front of you and I'm about to bow to you Maharaj so it's really important that how you bow ਇਹ ਹੁਣ ਰਾਜਾ ਨੇ ਹੁਣ ਸਿਰ ਚੱਕਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ I've seen loads of you might have seen it yourself as well ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇੱਥੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਮੱਥਾ ਜੋ ਟੇਕਣਗੇ for ages they just stay there ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਨੰਦ ਮਿਲ ਰਿਹਾ they're getting ਆਨੰਦ from that getting ਆਨੰਦ from getting the kirpa from Maharaj they're coming into nimrata ek wari banda nimrata vich aa gaya you become humble and then do ardas Maharaj listen to the ardas so easily fir Maharaj over ardas and ਏਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਸੁਣ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਜੀ ਬੰਦਾ and nimrata vich ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ so Guru Sahib ji then said Raja whatever desire you have within your mind you need to live and breathe Sikhi look at this Maharaj ਹੁਣ ਇਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਪ੍ਰਚਾਰ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਦਾ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ Maharaj said you need to live and breathe Sikhi Raja said hey Maharaj ji you are the epitome of happiness Maharaj ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਿਰਫ ਸੌਖੀ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸਿਰਫ Maharaj ਇਹ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਆ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਸੌਖਾ ਤਾਂ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਆ Maharaj ji I don't have a child and my wife is desperate for a child ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ Maharaj this hasn't been fulfilled and I've tried everything मारे सारा कोशिश किथे किथे गए केनू केनू मिले we've been everywhere we've tried everything पर मारे बच्चा नहीं होया साडे मारे please do किरपा on me I will take on your उपदेश जेड़ा तुसी उपदेश दोगे ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਪੂਰਾ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ then placed 2 cloves ਲੌਂਗ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ 2 ਲੌਂਗ ਰਾਜੇ ਦੇ ਹੱਥ ਵਿੱਚ ਰੱਖੇ and then 1 ਲੈਚੀ and then Guru Sahib ji said Raja tell your wife to eat this ਇਹ ਜੋ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਦੇ ਘਰ ਨੂੰ ਦੱਸ ਕਿ ਆਹ ਖਾ you will have 2 boys and a girl ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਉਸੇ ਵੇਲੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰਤੀ ਉਹਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੈ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਗਿਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਉੱਥੇ he didn't get anything from anywhere else ਪਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਕੋਲ ਆਏ and ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਐਦਾਂ ਹੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ But Maharaj ਕਹਿੰਦੇ morning and evening make sure you do Simran. Simran ਕਰਿਆ ਕਰ come into Sangat and do Simran. ਸੰਗਤ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਗੇ you get more fal. It's easier. You're in a fort. You ਇੱਕ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦਾ ਕਿਲੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ so you don't get affected by ਕਾਮ, ਕ੍ਰੋਧ, ਲੋਭ, ਹੰਕਾਰ, anything, any of the vices. Try and get rid. Maharaj ਇੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਐਦਾਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਇੱਛਾ ਆ try and get rid of this desire to have a child. Guru Sahib ji stayed here for a while and revealed Sikhi to everyone. ਇੱਥੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਕੀਤੀ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ so ਇਹ ਵੀ ਇੱਥੇ ਇੱਕ ਸੋਚਣ ਵਾਲੀ ਗੱਲ ਹੈ ਇੱਥੇ ਕਿ ਸਿੱਖੀ we think our Sikh ਕੌਮ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਆ ਆਪਣੇ in this world ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਪਰ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਪ੍ਰਗਟ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਸਿੱਖੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ how many Sikhs live where in these different realms ਕਿੱਥੇ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ they go to the next place After a while, they left this place also. They go to the next place, the next khand. Bhai Balaji say, hey Guru Angad Dev Ji, let me tell you about the people of this place. ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੇ ਲੋਕ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਦਾ ਆ the traditions that they have ਉਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸੋਚ ਆ whenever the first child is born in this place ਜਿੱਥੇ ਹੁਣ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ ਇੱਥੇ ਜਦੋਂ ਬੱਚਾ ਜਨਮ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਆ ਪਹਿਲਾ ਬੱਚਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਜਨਮ ਲੈਂਦਾ ਆ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ ਨੇ ਗਵਾਂਢ ਨੇ your neighbors your ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇਦਾਰ family friends ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ they go to the house where the child's born they go there and ਉੱਚੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਰੋਂਦੇ ਨੇ they cry ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਉੱਚੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਰੋਂਦੇ ਨੇ but then whenever anyone dies in that village ਉਹ ਥਾਂ ਤੇ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਮਾਰਨ ਜਾਣਾ ਆ ਜੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਈ ਮਰਦਾ ਆ anyone that dies ਸਾਰੇ ਇਕੱਠੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ and ਉੱਥੇ ਉੱਚੀ ਉੱਚੀ ਹੱਸਣ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ they start laughing then Guru Sahib you go to this place they go outside the nagar they come outside the city and they sat down there to rest and you know what's going to come next Sangaji the cliffhanger so to find out what's going to happen next ki agge ki hoga we're going to have to wait till next week ki mara sanu agge dasan ki ye ki aithe what's this tradition about and it makes you think ki eda janam te runde a maran te hasde a ਕਿ ਮਾਰੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਸਿੱਖਿਆ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੂਗਾ so we'll leave that there ਇੱਥੇ ਕੰਟੀਨਿਊ ਅਸੀਂ ਅਗਲੇ ਹਫਤੇ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ we'll continue that next week we'll move on to if anyone's got any questions in their mind then you can ask a question now so if anyone's got any questions to do with Sikhi generally then we can have a Q&A session quickly. Has anyone got any questions in their mind at all?
Yeah, I've got one.
And
You know when you're doing your part, let's say you're doing Jabji Sahib, before you start, you're supposed to say Jabji Sahib, then Ikungar, or can you just go straight into the part?
You can go straight into the part. Yeah, no, generally you don't really, you don't say Jabji, you can straight into the part, Ikungar, Satnam. I know a lot of Guru Sikhs will, a lot will go, Waheguru, 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 Ikungar, Satnam, it kind of, warms you up, just gets you ready, like, okay, let's focus now, I know, they'll go Waheguru, Waheguru, Ikungar, Satnam, Kartapur, Kaneko, yeah, no, you don't have to say that.
Even when you say that, so you finish Jabji Sahib, you move on to Jab Sahib, you do the Jagad before, like in between, or do you just kind of move on?
You just move on. Yeah. So you say Fatih for Jabji Sahib, and then you move on, yeah. Any other questions anyone got?
Haji, you know how you're saying about realms, they must still exist now then, obviously.
Yeah, they must still exist now, definitely. So, sound point here, no, right? So I was going to make an announcement after, like, now, if it's good that you asked this question, because we're coming up with a new, like, an idea, no? Like, for Friday Night Sikhi, we're coming up with like debate nights. Yeah, we're gonna have debate nights here. We're gonna start doing that like once a month. So ek wari meene de vich maybe कि खास करके बच्चों लिए this is really good where we get into two teams. We used to do this बहुत साल पहला जो ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ Friday night ਕੀ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ. We used to do that there, debate nights. A lot of Sangat used to turn up. We used to have two groups, and then one was for, one was against. Whatever's going on in the world today, in today's day and age, क्योंकि Sikhs are getting attacked. Sikhs पे हमला सारों पासे हो रहा है या Sikhs getting attacked from everywhere, every angle, yeah. And खास करके our kids, I'm seeing that because we do the Sikhi classes here every Saturday as well. The mentality that our kids have is so different from other dharmas. Other religions, their kids, the way their mentality is different. And Sanjpan, we were talking that it's for our kids. It's like if anyone ever asks you a question, especially when you go to college or university or something like that, at workplaces, so you might encounter someone one day that might ask you a question about your faith and then say that this doesn't make sense. And if you haven't got that knowledge, then that doubt will get put into your mind as well. Then you might think that, oh wait, what? Like, okay, maybe he's right. It's a dangerous thing, and I doubt planting that seed. So me and Sanjpad, you were talking, saying that why we have debate nights. So we have these and then he sent me a video, and in that video, a Christian is asking this Sikh. He's a Sajdari Sikh, but he's asking him about the 84 lakh June. He's asking about the cycle of life, reincarnation. ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਪਣਾ ਮੁੜ ਕੇ ਜਨਮ ਲੈਣਾ ਆ, you come back as ਜਾਨਵਰ and stuff like that. ਉਹ Christian ਗੋਰਾ, because ਉਹ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ, they don't believe in reincarnation, do they? They don't believe in that. They just believe in Judgment Day. But he's asking him that, you know, the whole 84 lakh June doesn't make sense. The whole reincarnation doesn't make sense to me. The Gora said, Gora ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਹਰ ਆ, ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੰਨਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹੋਰ ਕੁਝ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਨਾ. I don't believe that. And then he wasn't able to give an answer back. He was like, I haven't got that much knowledge of it, so I don't want to answer you. I don't want to give the wrong answer. And he was okay to an extent. He was like giving decent answers, but he couldn't give an answer for that. And then he couldn't give an answer for that. So when I was listening to it, in my mind, I thought that 84 lakh, because what the Gora said, Gora kenda ki if you're talking about life forms, life like there's categories or there's different life forms, and there's certain life forms that have been extinct, that they've just gone off the planet of the Earth now, haven't they? So what happens with that life form then? So that means that the life forms are getting less and less. What about that? And then he couldn't give a jawab back. He goes, oh, I'm not sure about that one. But in my mind, I thought, firstly, whenever if Maharaj Guru Sahib ji kende 84 lakh June hege ya, ta fir hege ya. Yeah, no matter what. Jidda marji ya. That's the mentality first we should have. Ki Maharaj kende ne, I don't care whether it makes sense to me or not. Hege ne, kete na kete hege ya. We should think like that. But second thing is, Maharaj have also talked about Patala, Khagasagas, right? Ki there's so many thousands of planets out there, thousands of galaxies out there. Ki jiri aha universe Brahmand Maharaj ne banaya, pata nahi hor kete tarti, hor kete hogi. There must be there's the loads of different earths out there. Jida asi rehde ne aha tarti de utte, hor kete, there must be thousands of these tartiyan. Hai. So these 84 lakh June apply to the whole universe, right? So these realms as well, they're included in that. Yeah, right. They're definitely there. They might not be on this earth that we know it or know as of it, but it'll definitely be somewhere else in the universe. Does that make sense? That the realms. So I don't want a bit long to answer that question, but yeah, we're gonna start having these debate nights. I think these debate nights are good. It'd be interesting, where everyone has to participate with groups, and again, it'd be good for the children. You want to answer? Answer that anyway. Right. Is it okay? Yeah. Anyone else got any questions before we call it a day?
That does make sense, Bobby, what you're saying, because even in now, in this day and age, they're still finding so many brand new species of
Yeah.
things, and they can't explain that.
Yeah.
So it does make sense in that sort of way.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Last month, I remember reading a report ages ago. Science log they're discovering new species every like day or every week or whatever. and अजय फिर like and वो भी बच्चे आ गया that they haven't covered most of the ocean yet anyway, है ना, the discovery of the ocean or jungles, some certain jungles they haven't been to, roll up out there when they go to a jungle and they find a new species and stuff. So yeah, these things they are there, है ना? But yeah. If anyone any other questions before we call it a day?
Sorry, if I've got one more.
Yeah.
So once I went to this camp and there was a BB there that does yoga, and she asked a question about, she said, so if I can concentrate, and like you just said that those yogis used to concentrate on their breath so they can live longer. So she was saying technically she could do the same. So then people could try to control their breath, just normal people, just so they could live longer. That's technically what that is.
Yeah.
So what the Singh said, I thought was really interesting. He said, well, then instead of concentrating Guru Sahib or being a better person, all you're going to do is try to live longer. But what would be the purpose? Just for the sake of living longer.
Yeah.
And what good is that?
Yeah. That's when Maharaj goes and meets the Siddhs. Maharaj ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਫਾਇਦਾ ਕੀ ਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਬਹਿ ਗਏ ਹੋ, you've come here and you're just doing this thing or whatever to gain these powers, but then it's not serving anyone in that way. Yeah. That's the thing. Don't start like practicing it now.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So someone asked that question, and then you
It
said
sounds
that.
cool.
But
It sounds cool,
yeah,
but
what I'm saying is there's no purpose
there's
to
no,
it. What it's like
just to prolong your life. And I think that might be like if you're attached to this life of yours and you don't want to die, you don't want to leave this world or whatnot. No? But maybe that's what it is. No? But yeah, thank you so much to everyone. We'll call it a day there then. हम जिम्मे महाराज ने उपदेश सारों को दिता कि सिमरन करो. Let's do Simran in Sangat Roop. Let's get Laha from Maharaj in that way. And if I made any mistakes, please forgive me, guys. I'm only learning like everyone else is learning, but you give me the opportunity to share with everyone. So Tanvad Saryanda, that you give me the ability to do this. Yeah, so there's announcements. Like I said, we're going to hopefully start doing these debate nights. We're going to also do like 2 minutes at the end about making announcements. Because sometimes there's so many like things that are going on within the Panth, within England, within Leicester. There's so many things going on, but we tend to like sometimes miss it out. Although social media is there, but we're gonna try our best to gather the information and share it with everyone in Friday Night Sikhi. So for example, tomorrow there's a tag archery competition at GTB Gurdwara. Even if you don't want to join it, it'd be really good to go and see it. So the Singhs and Singhniya, Bibiyan as well, wicked. I've seen it. They're going to be shooting bow and arrows at each other. You know? Like it's going to be a competition. So it's something worth watching, definitely. Between 2 and 5 tomorrow. Yeah. I'm going to do a bit of commentary there for sports. Like you know how the commentators do sports commentary. Or now I've been given that favor to do there. So that was fun last time. We're like, you have to be quiet. Like everyone be quiet now. He's focusing on it. Yeah. But so that is there any other announcements I might be missing over the weekend? No. Okay. I won't make that announcement yet. But yeah. Okay. Let's do Simran and we'll call it a day after that. We'll do Ostatawo, the Guru Sahib. The kids will do the praise all the Guru Sahibs and then we'll call it a day. Yeah? Vaheguru, 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 Vaheguru,
गुरु नानक देव जी तन है
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅੰਗਦ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਮਰਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਰਾਮਦਾਸ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਿਕ੍ਰਿਸ਼ਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ
ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤਨ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੰਥ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਤਨ ਹੈ
ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਤੇਰਾ ਪੰਥ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਧੰਨ ਹੈ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ